Welcome to the Passive Mobile Home Park Investing Podcast with your host, Andrew Keel. This is the podcast where you can get the education you need to invest 100% passively in the highly profitable niche of mobile home parks.
Welcome to the Passive Mobile Home Park Investing Podcast. This is your host, Andrew Keel. And today, we're going to discuss reason number 5 as to why you should invest in mobile home parks. Reason number 5 is that mobile home parks have low repairs and maintenance expenses. And this is due primarily to the fact that most mobile home park owners do not own the mobile homes themselves, just the dirt underneath of them. This benefits the mobile home park owners in a few ways. Number 1, since the residents own their own homes, they are responsible for the typical wear and tear maintenance expenses that pop up. Number 2, many residents embody the pride of home ownership and take care of their home a lot better than a typical renter would. There are some mobile home parks that have a different model, where the park owns all of the mobile homes. I personally don't recommend investing in this model for a few reasons, including higher overall expenses, but I'll leave that for another episode. Anyways, my very first multifamily investment was a D-grade 9-unit apartment complex in Daytona Beach, Florida. I could see it now. I remember the day I bought it, and wow, was I proud. This apartment complex was built in 1920. You can imagine the deferred maintenance that had accumulated over the 100 years of low-income occupants. This apartment complex was exactly 45 minutes from the doorstep of my house to the front driveway of the complex. It being so close, or so I thought at the time, I chose to self-manage this property. And you can only imagine the phone calls that rolled in about 5 times per week. Everything from leaking refrigerators to squeaky door handles and running toilets to windows that wouldn't shut all the way, you name it, and I fixed it myself. I learned the hard way that being a landlord isn't always as glorious as one would think. I ended up buying my first mobile home park 6 states away from where I lived in Florida. This property was in Illinois, near St. Louis. And for a short time, I owned the 9-unit apartment complex in Daytona Beach and the 67-lot mobile home park in St. Louis, Missouri. It didn't take long to see which was taking up most of my time. And soon thereafter, I chose to sell the 9-unit apartment complex and ended up trading into another mobile home park. The tenant-owned home ownership structure ultimately reduces risk. Most residents own the homes in which they live and rent the land, pad, and utility infrastructure from the community owner. This results in lower operating expenses compared to single-family rentals and apartment rentals. The annual operating expense ratio, which is your operating expenses divided by your gross revenue for a manufactured housing community, is 30 to 40% on average, versus expense ratios of 50 to 60% for multifamily apartments. Lower repairs and maintenance expenses allow for professional operators to own and manage these assets efficiently and at a distance. This is a huge factor in one's ability to scale. Reason number 5 as to why you should invest in mobile home parks is because mobile home parks have low repairs and maintenance expenses. And this can result in higher profits for passive investors. That's it for this episode. Make sure to check out next week's episode on why mobile home parks have such a low loan default rate. Thank you so much for tuning in. Are you interested in diving deeper into mobile home park investing? Would a community of passive investors, experienced operators, and beginners be helpful to you? If so, check out the Mobile Home Park Mastermind Facebook group. It can be found at facebook.com/groups/MHP Mastermind. This group is updated daily with new content, and has over 1,000 current members. This is a great resource for you to get all of your questions answered in one place. Once again, check it out and request to join at facebook.com/groups/MHP Mastermind. See you there.